Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zikra Munir, and the topic of my presentation I'm going to elaborate is various kinds of research methods. Before explaining various kinds of research method, I would like to tell a little about research. What is basically a research is? Research is a scientific and systematic way or a process to answer any question, to answer any particular question, or to find out a solution of a particular problem. It is not a simple way of answering any question, but it is a process and a systematic and a proper, a stepwise process to find out a solution for a problem, to answer any question. The main aim of any research is basically is to find out the answer, but it can also be used to test a hypothesis, either to we can prove wrong, we can prove a hypothesis either wrong or right on the basis of research and our study. And other aims of research includes we can deduce new theory of depending upon our study, and to resolve the existing problems. All are the basic aims and objectives of any research process. So depending upon the type of any research, basically there are different types of research process and different type of research methodologies. So what type of research method we are going to choose in our research study basically depends upon our research problem, because the type of research problem, because in any research process, in any research process, the first step is basically the formulation of a research problem, and the process and any and what type of research method we are going to choose to solve this problem basically depend upon what type of problem is included in our research study. Because every research method has a unique way, unique tools used to analyze the data that we collect during the research study, and during the research study. And there are also different methods to collect the data, because any research process, whenever we conduct any research method, any research process, we normally collect data from a sample. Because whenever we collect data from a sample, and then we analyze that data to reduce the result and conclusion upon the depending upon the results and all that. So various kind of research are basically classified on the basis of these two factors. So now I will explain various kinds of research. First is the case study research. What is basically a case study research? It is used to generate deep understanding of a complex issue in a real life matter. It involves wide variety of principles in medicine for examine patient. Basically, case study research is from the word we can see the case study. In case study research, we deep study or we study in depth any case. A case could be any a particular person, an object, or a phenomena. That is our case, and we get a deep information, and we understand that case deeply. We get like different information from all the sources and understand that case fully, and then we deduce the result. For example, how can a teacher implement active learning strategies in classroom? Now what is my research problem is that basically, or what is my research problem is that how a teacher can implement active learning strategies in classroom. That is the research problem. So this research, what would be my research methodology would be, it will be case study research. We will have to visit different schools, and we will have to understand, we will have to collect information, we will have to collect in-depth information. We have to talk to teachers and students, and we have to collect data that how the teachers are implementing these learning strategies in classroom. So this is all the case study research, in which we are understanding deeply the case. The next is the quantitative research. In quantitative research, as the quantitative word suggests, the numbers, quantity, amounts. So in quantitative research, the data being collected is in the form of numbers. It is in the form of percentage, numbers, amount, or quantity, and it is extensively used in the field of economics and commerce. Quantitative research refers to a systematic empirical investigation of phenomena, quantitative data, and the relationship. We can explain quantitative research from a very good example, like a survey was conducted among teenagers to study the impact of usage of mobile phones in children. Mobile phones are used for both good purpose and for bad purpose. Now if you want to know that how people react to this, how people act, how much people, how many people out of the population agree with this fact that mobile phones should be given to the students, or the children be given to the students, so or teenagers. So we will collect information from different people, including men and women, and we will get their opinions and their views upon this problem, and we will get to know the percentage of the people agree with this problem, agree with this fact that mobile phones should be given to the children or not. And in this, so this research is basically included in the quantitative research, because the data we are collecting and data we are gathering from the people from the sample is basically in the form of numbers, in the form of percentage. The second good example is the loss in the profit per unit in any organization. For example, we have any company, and to see and to observe and to know how much the organization has profit in any year, or a loss, percentage loss in the profit they have gained in any year. This is basically a quantitative research. So on that, basically basis on that quantitative data, we can deduce that whether the organization is progressing or flourishing, or it is going down. So this is all included in the quantitative research. Next is basically the descriptive research. Descriptive is from the word describe. It means that we have to describe the things, or the things the way they are. It doesn't focus on the why, it focuses on the word. We explain and we describe the thing as it is they are. It also means that already search data is described in a new way, and conclusions are made upon depending on our study. So the main thing in descriptive research is that it focuses on what rather than why. Descriptive research method or research method describes characteristics or population or phenomena that is being studied, and this methodology focuses on what research subject rather than why of the research subject, and there is no control variables involved in this research method. And the example of descriptive research is to get a good idea of people's taste and expectation. An organization conducted a survey by offering a new flavor of sauce and recorded people's responses by gathering data from the store owner. Now we are describing the way things are. We are not gathering the data in a quantitative way, and we are not describing the why people have different tastes. We are just describing the people taste and expectation by offering different flavors of sauce. We are just gathering the information. We are just describing the people's behavior and taste and expectation they are showing toward the new flavor of the sauce. So this is the descriptive research. Now there are three types of descriptive research: uh, observational, case study, and survey method. These three methods are basically used in the descriptive research. The first one is the observational method. This is a type of correlation research which adopts researchers observes ongoing behavior. Basically, in observational method, the word observation is basically used, and we collect data just by observing the ongoing behavior, and we collect the data. Basically, it includes the qualitative data mostly. The next is the survey method. Survey method is basically dependent upon the interview. We interview a specific person, and when we use the interview method, interview is basically used for a small size of sample. When we have a small size of sample, then for a small size of sample, then we generally interview a particular person and to get his views and ideas upon relevant topic. We collect that qualitative data. So interview may be a structure or non-structural. In structured interview, basically all the questions are basically predetermined and in the order, whereas whereas another way, if the interview is non-structural, then any question that is being asked depend upon the response of the respondent. How they answer a particular question, the next question is going to be dependent on the previous response of that person. Now the next is the case study method. We have already discussed the case study method, in which we deeply understand a particular case, and we get the information, and we get the detailed information about that case, and then we deduce the calculations and conclusions. This is basically included in the case study method. So these are the three particular ways to do a descriptive research. Next is analytical research. Analytical research, we can see the word analytical, and analytical word is basically from the word analysis. Analysis is basically a process of breaking something into its component, and then we relate those components with each other, and then we see the relationship between those components, and then we deduce the conclusions and details and facts and figures and concepts. We deduce new concepts. So analytical research use basically analytical tools to analyze a particular thing. In analytical research, basically researchers use facts and information already available and analyze to make a critical evaluation of data. For example, we have so analytical research is basically based upon already available facts and information, and on the basis of that information we deduce new conclusions and results. Now, example of analytical research includes how absentee rate among students can be reduced. The very important point in analytical research is that we focus on why rather than what. So we can differentiate between analytical research and descriptive research in this way. That how absentee rate among the students can be reduced. Now I want to know that why the students are getting, why the rate of the students are getting absent, why the absentee rate is or why the students are not attending the class, why the rate of absentee is increasing day by day. Is there any reason? I want to know the reason why the students or why the absentee rate is increasing day by day in the classroom. So this is my research problem, and I will adopt an analytical research method to solve this issue. So we will so data is already available on the daily basis. Students absent, students roll call, and students data is being collected and recorded on the registers. So I will just have to use that already available facts and information, and I will deduce, and I will get to know why the students are not attending the class. That is basically the analytical research. The next is the type of analytical research. It includes reviews, historical research, and philosophical research. First of all, we will discuss about reviews. In review, basically review is from the word that we want to give our we want to give our view, our opinion on a particular data, on a particular research paper. So that is included in the review. So in analytical research, we use already available facts and information and data, and on a point that we give a review over those in facts and informations. The next is historical research. Historical research, it is a systematic calculation, a collection and evaluation of data to explain, understand events, action, and describe that occurred in past. Historical research resource material may include documents, numerical records, oral statements, and records. The main aim of historical research is to find critical search for truth to conceptualize histories and contextualize to explain. There is no accurate definition of what time period constituted contemporary history has existed or can exist. Basically, what we are trying to explain in historical research is that we try to explain what is included in historical research is that we try to solve the present day solution, present day problems, or we want to, or in historical research we solve the present day problems. We collect the solution, and we solution we find out the solution for the present day problems depending upon the data of the past. So we analyze the data that is from the past, and we find out the solution for the present day problems. That is basically the historical research. Next is philosophical research. This research is related to theoretical basis of branch of experience and knowledge. This research is related to theoretical basis of branch and experience and knowledge, fundamental in nature of reality, knowledge, and existence. In philosophical research, basically philosophers and thinkers basically do research on already available theories and knowledge, and they deduce the new concepts and facts and figures. The next is techniques for survey research or questionnaires, surveys, and interviews. The difference between the interviews and questionnaires is that interviews is basically used for the small survey, small size of sample, and questionnaires are basically used for the large size samples. In questionnaires, we have pre-ordered question written on the paper, and we give that questionnaire to the number of people or large to groups of people, and we have in that questionnaire we have two type of questionnaires. Either we get yes or no options, or we get the detailed answer of those questions. So it is used for the large size of population or large size sample, and interviews are used only for a small size sample, or if we want to interview a particular person or a small group of people, then we use the interview method of survey or collection of data. The next is the fundamental research. Fundamental research is also known as basic research and the pure research. In fundamental research is basically used to acquire the new knowledge, or experimentation and theoretical work has to be done primarily. It increases the scientific knowledge of research and has also planned and has no planned and immediate uses. The result may be used in future. The best example of fundamental research is the Newton's first law. Newton's first law was that the no force. The good example of fundamental research. In fundamental research, basically fundamental research, a new theory is generated, and that theory is basically used for the future purposes. All new research that is being done is basically from that particular research that was done on the primary basis, that was done at first, and all the new research is basically from that research done on the primary basis. That is the fundamental research. For example, Newton's first law was the fundamental research, and that theory that Newton's first law has been deduced. That Newton's first law says that if a body is at rest, it will remain at rest unless the external force act on the body, or if the body is in motion, it will remain in the state of motion unless the external force act on the body. So this was a theory, the new theory. Nobody has given that theory before. This is the fundamental research of Newton. Now this fundamental research of Newton was used in different ways. New theories, new research is being made, and the new research has been made, and his theory is being used in different ways, and in different fields of science. His theory is being used nowadays. So Newton's first law was the fundamental research. Next is next is So this was the fundamental research, and Newton's first law was the best example of this. Now the benefits of fundamental research is that knowledge acquisition. We have got new knowledge, and that knowledge is basically used in different ways, and it benefits the society in a number of ways. Yes, Newton's first law is basically used in a variety of ways. Now Newton's first law is being implemented in different fields of science, and we have benefited the society in that way. And knowledge acquisition benefits of society, and economical gaining is also a benefit of fundamental research. The next is the conceptual research, and conceptual research is conducted on the basis of already present information and observation on the given topic. It can be used in developing theories or new interpretation by abstract concept and ideas. Conceptual research is basically from the word concept. So basically already written theories and reduced theories by researchers and philosophers are being given. So in conceptual research, we pick up those theories, and we deep study those theories. We do a deep study on those theories, and either we interpret, means either we explain those theories in a new way or in a more better way to extract new ideas and concepts on. This is all including the conceptual research. Basically, we use the already written data and already research material and already deduced theories by the philosophers and scientists, and we just re-research on that particular data. This is all included in the conceptual research.